Welcome to the first and maybe the only Milton podcast show. I'm making this podcast for you, family, Milton family, the ones out here that knows and loves me, and all the ones that love us. I'm here to deliver a message face to face with you, or maybe face to your screen. I'm here to deliver a message to you. And this message is someone is strategically committing genocide on my people, you. And I know I probably told a lot of you this face to face, but now it's time for me to make the message clear and give you a little proof, because you know our niggas love proof. Give you a little proof of what's really going on. And we're going to start that off with finding out who. The question is who, ironically who, I'm going to put emphasis on who, is strategically committing genocide on my people. And I want to start off with a little help from the topic, who? The World Health Organization. In the World Economic Forum, they made a plaque declaring, well, I'll just read it for you. All right. Klaus Schwab is the founder and chairman of the World Economic Forum and the author of the book, COVID-19, The Great Reset. I know some of you have heard of this. If you think you know something, I'm going to ask you to stand on the era of I don't know and I know. Stand in the middle of it so you can receive everything I'm trying to tell you. We finna all learn something new today. I, who think I know something, and I know there are some things I don't know, I'm going to stand right with you in the middle, and we're going to learn together. Here we go. Klaus Schwab is the founder and chairman of the World Economic Forum and the author of the book, The COVID-19, The Great Reset. At least 4 billion useless eaters. 4 billion useless eaters is what they call whoever they're talking about, shall be eliminated by the year 2050 by means of limited wars, organized epidemic, fatal rapid acting diseases, and starvation. Energy, food, and water, remember this, water shall be kept at substantial levels for the non-elite, starting with the white population of Western Europe and North America, and then spread into other races. The population of Canada, Western Europe, and the United States will be decimated more rapidly than other continents until the world's population reaches a manageable level of 1 billion. 1 billion. Of which 500 million of will consist of Chinese and Japanese races. They want them for some odd reason. Let's see. Selected because they are people who have been regimented for centuries and who are accustomed to obeying authority without question. Well, you know they don't want, that's why they don't want the niggas. You know we're going to be target number one. From their time, there should be artificially contrived food and water shortages. Again, water shortages. And medical care to remind the masses that their way of existence depends on the goodwill of the Committee of 300. That's what he put his face beside. He is putting his face beside. Next slide. The World Health Organization declared the outbreak a pandemic. They the one who declared the outbreak a pandemic. Next slide. CERN address is 1211 Geneva, Switzerland. This is important because CERN and the World Health Organization has the same exact address. Let's find out why. Next slide. The trials which began for the vaccine that was developed, that began at the address of 1211, again, Geneva, Switzerland. Same address as CERN. Let's keep it going, because I don't want to bore you. Also going on at CERN, they were, I don't want to say this name, but I'm going to spell it for you. You see it on the screen, Shiva. That's a deity, a Hindu deity. This was going on at CERN, in the yard of CERN. They over there dancing and praising every year annually to the goddess of death and destruction, or the god of death and destruction. Well, it's a goddess too, but he's going to turn into a god. But we're going to talk about that. Next slide. You see that logo? That look like 3 sixes to me. I ain't the smartest man in the world, but that look like 3 sixes to me. Next slide. That's what's going on at the World Health Organization / CERN campground, campus. All right. Now I want to explain to you how this ties into us, how this ties into us as a people being targeted. Because I've told you, I believe I've told you, but I want to tell you good this time. And I also want to allow the proof to, I would like the proof to speak for itself. HR 1242. First off, a lot of these slides, I'm going to give you screenshots that I took it. I expect for you to go back and do the research for yourself. Use your cell phone. Use Google. Google is one of the most trusted sites in America right now. People use that to get you home every day. They bring your food home. They have to put it in Google to find your address. Just take the time out right now and get yourself home. Pick your phone up and Google a little of what I'm telling you. You might find your way. I'm not saying it's going to be 100% accurate, but you might get home around the corner. HR 1242. HR 1242 is something that was written into the House of Representatives while we slept. It wasn't on the main screen. It wasn't big, but let's talk about a little bit of what it is. It's an act to establish the 400 years of African American History Commission, and for other purposes. Could be for anything, other purposes. That's very general. But African American sounds like you and me, doesn't it? Oh, no. I am not African American. You can't be African American. If a 100% African slept with a 100% American, that baby will be 50-50 truly African American. But if that baby gets to be about slave baby making age, that baby going to have to find, or that young man going to have to, or young woman going to have to find a mate either in America. That next baby going to be 75% mostly Indian, 25% African. By the third generation, it's going to be even less than that. The blood going to wash out. So in 50 years or 45 years, there should have been no more African Americans in the land if that's truly what happened. I doubt all of that happened in the way it was told to us, simply because, for multiple reasons, but I won't go there. We're going to stick to the point. African American Act that was established, that established the 400 years of African American History Commission. 400 years. They're counting from Jamestown, supposedly Virginia. I don't even know if Jamestown was in Virginia in 1619, but they're counting from, I think it's August 20th or somewhere around that day, 1619 to 2019. 1619 for 2019, 400 years, 4 centuries. Okay, so they're establishing an act for us. We can all agree they're clearly establishing an act for us. Let's keep it going. Next slide. This weasel, let's talk about the weasel in the room. Literally, the weasel in the room. Follow me, because I love you, and I don't want nothing to happen to you at all. And if I have a voice to speak and to let you know what's really going on, that's exactly what I'm going to do. Anyway, The Eli Wiesel Genocide and Atrocities Prevention Report. Y'all got to Google that. I can't waste time right now I got so much to talk to you about and I got to get through this. Y'all got to Google the report. But from what I found and from what I know, that this Wiesel report was established or signed by Donald Trump in 2018, the same time the act, the African American Commission Act took place. And this Wiesel genocide report is known by Trump as known only as the act. I put it in blue. I highlighted the act in blue so you can read it for yourself. It's going to be on the first page, so you don't have to waste time. But I would prefer that you go ahead and read everything. But on the first page, you're going to see that this Wiesel genocide and atrocity prevention report is supposed to be about preventing a great atrocity on a people or a great genocide on a people, written at the same time where our African American Commission Act was written or signed into play by the same guy, Donald J. Trump. Now, that's not going to make things look good for Kamala, but we finna get into details about who's trying to really strategically commit genocide. Genocide, by the way, let me give you a clear understanding of genocide, my good Milton family and all the friends that love us and that I love. Let me give you a good idea of genocide. Suicide is when a person kills themselves. Homicide is when a person kills someone else. Pseudocide is when a person pretends to kill themselves. Genocide is the destruction of the inheritable gene. Yeah. They don't have to just kill you. They're strategically committing genocide. I didn't say just genocide. I said strategically. Listen to my dialogue. If a person is on an airplane or a bus and they're in the corner praying for forgiveness of what they're doing, you don't want to hear that, wouldn't you? You want to know what they're saying, right? Listen to dialogue when people speak. They're going to tell you exactly how they feel. The mouth, out of the heart, the abundance of a heart, the mouth speaketh. That's written in Scripture. So listen to me. They have an act in play. The same president you're about to go vote for in a couple of days, they had an act in place to strategically, or in their words, to run a prevention report to strategically, the act to strategically commit genocide on the people and a great atrocity on the people. Next slide. I don't want to waste too much time. Let's figure out how this playing out, who all paid for this, because everything costs money. You couldn't even get people to read your report without do a survey without $10 or $8 or a free meal somewhere. Event 201. This was made by none other than Bill Gates, or funded, not just Bill Gates. Johns Hopkins University got their name on it. So let's just start off with Johns Hopkins University. That's very important. This is a tabletop exercise, Event 201. They wanted to get the world, you're going to have to Google this, but they're going to get the world to prepare for a pandemic in 2019, right at, the end of 2018, right during the act. This is all a part of the act, by the way. You'll find that out as you continue reading. But they had a tabletop exercise, which is none other than another act, paid for and funded by Johns Hopkins University and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Bill and Melinda Gates, I don't like to really just mention people's name because I don't want nobody mentioning my name out of context. I'm just going to let your actions and your acts speak for themselves. Next slide, please. Event 201. Okay, Johns Hopkins University, and I'm just going to read a little bit of it because I don't have time to waste on one topic. So the Johns Hopkins Centers for Health and Security, in partnership with the World Economic Forum, the same people who made the declaration of killing 400 billion people, are we putting this together yet? They hosted an Event 201 high-level pandemic exercise on October 18th, 2019. They did that in New York. They pretended an act to face a pandemic, a large worldwide epidemic. Next topic, please. Okay, let's talk about psyops. Let's talk about how strategic this war is becoming. Let's talk about a few things that may have went over your head. There was a game when I was in college. I had a chance to attend Mississippi Valley State University, Bakersfield College, and these colleges taught me a lot of experiences, and I love it. I love every minute of it. I won't take nothing back. I remember a game in one of my psychology classes, and this game they took 5-on-5 basketball. It was a psychology test. They played basketball on the court, one dressed in white, one dressed in black. One team dressed in white, one team dressed in black. They took 10 people to sit down in a chair and say, hey, count how many times the people in the shirt pass it to the people in the white shirt pass it to one another. And while they were counting, the scientists secretly had a man in a gorilla costume to walk through the middle of the floor, right through the middle of the teams playing basketball. And at the end of the test, at the end of the game, they asked the host or the testees, did you see the gorilla? They asked them the number of times they passed the basketball. And you probably could Google this on YouTube, this game. You probably have to put it in your own words. You'll find it. But they asked them, did you see the man in gorilla suit? Nobody saw the man in gorilla suit. And they probably would have never thought about the man in gorilla suit if nobody would have ever asked them. So let's talk about how strategic their genocide has been. We already see that there was a tabletop exercise planned in the pandemic. There's also psyop games that they played with our heads. Do not believe everything you see on TV. We should have always remembered this point. You know that TV is full of actors. And what type of man look in the mirror and walk out the mirror and forget what type of man he was before he went into a mirror, if not an actor? These actors is showing us something to make us, I guess, bend to their will or believe their narrative, the script. You remember the George Floyd incident? Take notice of what you see in the screen. You see the guy on the knee or the guy back. You see the truck, the unmarked vehicle, the unmarked truck. But one thing we all didn't take notice on that we should have is the giant glowing 666 trash can right in the middle of the screen with the pyramid behind it. Am I the only one who saw that? Are we really finna let these people play the mental mind games on us? Now, I can't say I wasn't there. I don't know what happened, none of that. All I do know is that there was a lot of questions that was not asked on live TV, right in front of the world, on broadcasting television, as they went on with their narrative one day after the next. Like it's like, what happened to the marked vehicle? What happened to the 2 police officers that sat them in the marked vehicle with the word park police written on the side? 830, truck 830. Do you see who is having a $20 bill even illegal? A counterfeit 20. And if it was illegal, or if it was a counterfeit 20, then why don't you just ask for the man money back? He was standing there talking. He didn't try to, what nigga would try to really peddle off a counterfeit bill and stay in the same era he peddled? There's a lot of unasked questions, but when we as a people sitting at home looking at the act that was written in place to commit genocide and a great atrocity on the people, the show must go on. It's Monday as usual to us, right? Then the act has been going on in front of us and is still going on now. Next slide, please. As you can see, in a lot of the things that was going on, we overlooked the most obvious and didn't ask. The crazy part about it is if you don't ask, you ain't going to receive. If you don't knock, the door ain't going to open. I think that's written in scripture, isn't it? We have to embrace ourselves being quiet as the bad guy whoop ass. Because in order for him to stop, we got to come out here and be like, hey, what you doing? This is our lives you guys are acting with. Acting. We could go into the next topic. Please. I have to continue to show you how deep the rabbit holes goes. I ain't gonna have enough time to do it right now. But hopefully you use your ruach, just as I use mine. Learn to fast. Learn to meditate. Do it. You need it now more than ever. These people are smart and they're strategic. Smart as in sharp. As in snake oil salesman, as my uncle called it. Rest in peace. Rest in peace, Uncle B. These people are sharp. They're quick with their tongues. Wake up. This is time for us. We're going to get to the next topic. Anyway, FDA, the Federal Drug Administration, if you don't know what FDA means, you're going to have to Google some of the stuff I'm telling you. I expect for not all of us to know what I'm talking about, but most of us to know what I'm talking about. But for the rest, hell, you got Google. Do it. Anyway, the FDA, they approved something called, they approved a lot of stupid stuff, but one thing I want to focus on is the You Deny CA vaccine. You Deny CA vaccine. It's probably true in the way they're going to pronounce it up, but I'd rather say that than to say the medical term for it. And You Deny CA really stands out to me because I ain't denying California. I think California got the best bud. I like it. Oh, I love it. Anyway, they happen to approve, the FDA approved this drug. And this is basically radiation that the body expels anyway. We're made out of 4 ingredients, if you don't know. Hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, and carbon. This is what we're made of. We're made out of these ingredients. Radiation is a part of us. Don't be afraid. But radiation is a part of us. The FDA made a drug that they telling you to give 6 milligrams to both women and children, adults and babies. A drug. It was a vaccine when it was in play. And the FDA approved that in case, and let's find out why they felt like we needed a radiation injection vaccine, because they're going to tell you a lot of stuff. You're going to have to go and put 2 and 2 together for yourself. But they, in their words, for exposure to radiation during a radiological and nuclear emergency can result from exposure to an external radiation source without any direct contact. Okay. These people have put in place a drug in expectation that we're going to be exposed to a nuclear emergency. In case of, it depends on the type, the last sentence in there going to tell you that it depends on the type of nuclear radiation. So in the act of something happened, they already pre-approve a radiation vaccine that they have already approved 6 milligrams to both women and children. I looked up the vaccine and the contents of this vaccine. This said they do not give more than 4 milligrams to anything. But they already have it subscribed to 6 milligrams. And I don't want to get too far into medical terms to confuse anyone, but you're going to have to go look it up, the You Deny CA vaccine or injection. And don't just look it up surface deep. Go throughout and get an understanding for why the FDA feel, and look up the FDA website. They're going to tell you that they expect or they're inspected in case of a nuclear event. They're already planning to stage a nuclear event, and I'm going to explain that if time permits. Let's go. Next slide. Okay. Technology, the woes of technology. Back to what I was saying about the WHO, World Health Organization, being the people who first declared this a pandemic. And let's not forget that CERN is on the same compound, on the same campus, next door, 4 doors down, 1211 Geneva, Switzerland. Building 23, the other is 1211 Geneva, Switzerland. Building 27. Just remember the two people in this party that's been declaring the pandemic a pandemic that's declaring all these pandemics. They have given the leader, the head, I think his name is, I will chop his name up, but it's an ugly name. Jabrius Zeus or something like that. I hate to say that name, but go ahead. It starts with a G. Google it up. The founder and the leader of the World Health Organization. He works with Klaus Schwab, buddy, hand to hand probably. And these guys have taken the time out to declare this a pandemic. Next slide. According to outside media sources, they have already decided, there's other people claiming that we as a people have been lied to. I'm not the only one. I'm not making this up. You got to see for yourself. Look around. They have been hiding something. And it started in 2019. They're hiding something big. And the fact that we are experiencing and not talking about it is allowing us to realize that we are not standing up how we should. Now, I'm not going to hold you too long. I feel like I'm at the end of what I got to say. So I just want to focus on the fact that we got to protect our children this time and our elders this time. Everything that they're doing, everything that they're reporting was reported by Johns Hopkins University. They're doing it strategically, psyops with the media. In Event 201, Bill Gates and Melinda Gates, they donated $470 million to buy our media. We're looking at paid-for actors on a screen. The source, it says, always read what's in small writing. At the very bottom, we see that the source is Johns Hopkins University. And yes, the World Economic Forum is hiding something, but they're hiding it in plain sight. The weirdest thing in the world. They put it in your face. They pissing on you and tell you it's raining. They put it in your face and they tell you it's not happening. They say it's a pandemic outbreak, but they didn't tell you it was an act. We buying that? Is this what my people do? We're buying that? We got to protect the women and children. Donald Trump and Joe Rogan did an interview the other day, 11 days before the election. Exactly 11 days before the election. What did he say 1 hour, 1 minute in? They holding water from us. Listen to the whole interview. This guy's an actor. Everything around him is an act. Everything he doing is an act. The people that he affiliated himself with are wrestlers, actors. The people that he do business with, the people that ask him to join, listen to the interview. They're hiding it, of course, but they're hiding it in plain sight. I hope you understand what I'm saying. I hope you're getting and it's retaining to you. I don't want to keep talking about this. I personally want to go into making good music with Street League Entertainment. I personally want to give you and build this business that I can lead to you and lead to my nephews and nieces. I ain't going to say leave. I said lead them to, because I ain't leaving. I ain't going nowhere. I'm here to stay by the grace of Yah until Yah tells me to go otherwise. But I want to give you something that will lead generational wealth. Lead you into generation. It is Yahweh has the power to give wealth, not man. So I build a business with what I love to do. And I build it for you to enjoy. We as Miltons, we're big football players. I play football when there is no team to play football for. I make my own team. I get out there on the field. I run my own routes. We out here, we have our own game. We stage our own audience. We have our own fun. We were built that way. What we're here to do, what I'm going to do, is give my gift or our gift out to the world. But I can't do that if we're going to sit here and allow people to commit genocide on us. I'm a singer. By nature, Dad, you passed me this gift. I'm going to express this gift to the world. And as a people, I want you to see the gift within me. But I can't do that if all my nieces and nephews are injected with something that's not allowing them to run. Hello? I'm talking to my family and my friends and my loved ones. This is the Milton Podcast Show. Hopefully this is the first and the only of podcast warnings I'm going to have to do, because I want you to take over. Stand up and speak out. This is my arret and your arret. My Shemayim and your Shemayim. This is ours. If we're going to allow foreigners, not just foreigners, people that doesn't have a soul, obviously, at least let the Judeans stand up, the Yahudims. Let us have a say in this. If we're going to allow foreigners to come in and call us useless eaters, let the prince tribe of Judah, of Israel, Yisrael, let us stand up. What we going to do? We got to have our say. They're strategically committing genocide on us. And hopefully, not hopefully, for sure, we're going to stand up. We're going to raise a standard against them. The Milton Podcast Show, y'all. TJ the Great, GR the number 8. Before me, there were none. After me would be my son. I'm out.